guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I wanted to get to know the blushes better. I wanted to truly use them because I know they're viral and everyone loves them, but people either love them or hate them. The thing about these blushes, and I'm talking about the Rare Beauty blushes, is that I've had clients that take makeup lessons with me that have them and tell me I cannot work with that, and then I have to teach them how to use it. So today I wanted to explain to you guys the way that I use them, then show you swatches in daylight that I did on my arm, and then also I wanted to show you the blushes swatched on my face on this lighting, and then lowering the light for each of the blush applications so that you guys can see the colors in real life without any artificial lighting. I still leave my lights on because it's the only light that I have, and it's already the afternoon, so I have no natural light, but I lower the lighting so that you guys can really appreciate the finish of the product and see the true color of it. If you're interested in seeing the face swatches and the real swatches of the blushes, and then also hear me talking about them and reviewing them and recommending them and then ranking them, then just keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blushes, that's the name of the blush. They are $23 and they come with 7.5 milliliters of product, and that's a ton of product for a liquid blush. I know that it's even more product when you think about the pigmentation of these blushes. They are insanely pigmented, but they're beautiful and they're truly easy to work with. You have to just stop following TikTok trends to get your head around that, because sometimes when we see TikTokers, they drag a lot of their product and they try to blend it and they do it for the show, so it's part of the show. But I'm a makeup artist, and what I do is I put a dot in the back of my hand, and you will see me doing that and then blending it with a brush, and they always perform beautifully. They come in different finishes, dewy and matte, and out of the 7 shades that I own, I only have one matte, and it's my newest shade, and it was one that I wanted to get before filming this video, and I'm trying it for the first time today on camera. It's the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Bliss. For foundation, I'm using a foundation that I'm trying to finish. It's the Huda Beauty Full Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation in the shade 150 Golden, and it's the foundation that I'm trying to finish. This foundation makes everything harder for cream blushes because it's so high coverage that if you're using a cream blush that does not perform, it will lift up the heavy foundation or the full coverage of the foundation, and these blushes do not do that. So these are blushes that, in my opinion, are way worth the money, and in my opinion, they're affordable. For $23, you can find blushes at the drugstore right now for $15, and these are only $7 more, and they perform beautifully, they blend beautifully, they're super pigmented, so you will have one blush for the rest of the year, and then they last all day on the skin, because I've worn these as a standalone blush and then also underneath powder blush, and they perform on top of powder, underneath powder, and they also last all day. And I live in a humid weather, and most of the cream products that I buy and that I've used, I have to do magic for them to last. These are products that set into your skin and they will not budge. Of course, if I'm gonna go out and if I'm gonna have a long day, I will set them with powder, because my skin type, I get oily on my T-zone, and like I said, I live in a humid weather. My cheeks never lose color, but if I have a baby, I'm rubbing my face and whatnot, I don't want a cream product without setting it on my face. For the shades that they have at Sephora right now, they have 13 shades. I think 2 of those, which I'm gonna show you today, that are one of my favorites, are Virtue and Worth. Those are supposed to be limited edition. I don't know if they're leaving them in the permanent range. I hope they do, because they're wonderful. And 2 of the shades that I'm showing you are minis that were part of sets, holiday sets, and these are not available for purchase. Okay, so without further ado, let's just go in and I'll show you the swatches on my face of these blushes. Okay, you guys, so to start, I wanted to pull up the 2 colors that are basically limited edition, or that they came up with later, I think earlier this year. These are the shades Worth and Virtue. I don't know if they're gonna make them permanent, but they should. These, like I said, are limited edition shades. Worth is described as a true rose, while Virtue is described as a beige peach, I think these are one of those colors that you can wear on an everyday basis, and you can pair with any look that you're wearing on your eyes. So I find them to be extremely wearable. All the ones that I have I wear, but these I find them to be my neutral blush of choice when I'm going for my Rare Beauty blushes. On my skin, I have the Huda Beauty foundation that I'm trying to finish, and it's not set. I'm not using concealer or anything. And the bronzer that I'm using, of course, is the Rare Beauty Bright Side, which is one that I've been using and abusing since I got it, and it blended beautifully. So I'm gonna be removing this part down. I'm gonna do 2 blushes at a time, and I'm gonna be removing this part and down, and then reapplying my foundation, reapplying my bronzer, and then swatching all of the blushes. I have 7 colors, so that means that the last one it's gonna be placed on both cheeks so you guys can see it, but I wanted you guys to be able to compare a few of the shades as well. Before we go into the application of the blushes and me talking about how I feel about them and if I love them or whatnot, and everything and anything that you need to know about this review, these blushes I apply them with either a synthetic or a natural hair bristle brush. I'm using today the Real Techniques one. I'm gonna be swiping it up in a towel, and then I also use the Sonia G small cheek brush from the Lotus set. I love that, and you will see me how I apply these blushes. These are highly pigmented, so that's why people tend to mess up with them. So what I do is I do 1 dot for both cheeks. Since I'm only gonna do 1 cheek today, I will put the smallest amount on the cheek, and you will see me applying it, and this is gonna be with Worth and Virtue. So you will see me applying them both, but Worth is gonna be our teacher for today of how I apply these blushes. I will not dot them on my cheek. I will put the dot right here in the back of my hand, and then with my finger I apply 1 dot here and 1 dot here. Today that I'm doing 1 side for each blush, I'm gonna go ahead with the brush and I'm gonna mix it in the back of my hand and then spread it so that it's even in the back of my hand. And this is the best way to apply cream products, and then you have to work quickly with these. So I'm gonna just start tapping the product and blending it while tapping it, and I never get too much, never, not since the first day that I got happy, which was my first one. So yeah, this is the shade Worth, and if I want to build it, let me show you how I do it when I do it directly to my face, because I know people sometimes want to do that. I grab it with my finger, I place 1, 2 dots, sometimes 3 dots, but I do it 1 side at a time, and then I press them until I blend them. But I would recommend for you to do the same that I did on the first application, and even build it that way. This is how it looks with my lighting. As soon as I finish both cheeks, I will make sure to lower the lighting so that you guys can see all the colors in a lower lighting set. So that's Worth. And then I'm cleaning my brush, and now I'm using Virtue on my other cheek. Okay, you guys, so you can see that Virtue is more on the warmer side, and then Worth it's more on the pinky side. So this one it's warmer and more on the orangey side, and then this one is more on the pinky side, but I love them both, and they're different enough depending on the eye look that you do and the lipstick that you're gonna wear. What I also do when applying them is I grab the foundation sponge that I use and I blend the edges of the blush so that it doesn't look harsh on the edges, and then I set it with powder, or sometimes I set my face with powder and then apply the blush on top, depending on the pigmentation that I got on the application, because sometimes I apply a little bit more, sometimes less. If I apply too much, I set with powder later, but you can see this looks beautiful. I'm gonna tone down the lighting so you guys can see them. Okay, you can see the difference in color better now. This one right here is Virtue. And then this one on this side is Worth. Okay, you guys, so the two first shades, I forgot to mention that they were on the dewy finish because they come in dewy and matte finishes. And now the ones that I'm gonna swatch, I don't know for Adore because I can't find the shade anywhere, but for Bliss it's a matte shade. And this one, it's like a matte light pink, matte nude pink. So this one I wanted to compare it with Adore because I find them to be the most similar. I'm gonna put Bliss on this side and then Adore on my other side. Okay, right off the bat, this is drying quicker than the dewy formula. I love the shade. This is the first time that I'm applying it. I love the shade, it's just that it dries quicker. And I don't mind a matte finish in a blush. I actually like it. And now I'm building it up. So a second dot for Bliss. You guys, this is a perfect everyday shade as well because it's definitely a nude pink, but it's different from Worth, which is the one that has like a mauvey undertone to it. You know what? I'll leave Adore for last. Since it's a limited edition shade, I wanted to compare this one for one that you can get, which is Happy, which is the most popular. This was the first one that I purchased, and then when I got the small set, I got... Oh, Adore was one that didn't come in that set, but my friend sent it to me. So it's beautiful. On the set that I got Encourage, Truth, and a small size of Happy, which I always take with me when I travel. So Happy, it's a true bright pink, and it's described on the website like a dewy cool pink. So this is the dewy formula, and this is highly pigmented. So I already cleaned my brush, and you will see it right here. This is way more pigmented than Bliss for sure. The blendability is way better when they're dewy. I don't know if I have another shade that it's a matte shade, but I've always found them easy to blend. Maybe I've purchased only dewy shades. This one I don't have to build up, and you can see that it's truly a cool tone pink, while this one is a nude pink and it's way more natural. So this is Happy, and this is Bliss. Again, I'll do the same thing. I use the sponge and blend the edges. And now I'm gonna lower the lights so that you guys can see them with a different light. This is Happy, and then this is Bliss. Okay, so this is Bliss, which I built up twice to achieve almost the same color as Happy. Happy has a dewy finish, and then Bliss is more on the matte side. And I think Bliss is, in a way, the perfect wearable blush. So I would place that with Worth and Virtue for sure. It will be an everyday blush for me. This is the first time that I tried it, and I love the finish. I only know that I have to work extra quickly because that one, it's a matte finish, and I noticed that it takes longer to blend. Okay, you guys, so now I have these two limited edition shades, which are minis. One came, I think, in the year before last set, and this was a gift from my friend Janet. It's in the shade Adore. And then the other one that was limited edition on the gift set that she gave me last year is the shade Truth. But I don't know if I want to compare Truth with Encourage, or maybe leave Encourage for my even application. Let's just go ahead and use Adore and Truth. I don't know the finish of these two blushes, but I guess I'll figure them out as I go. Adore is a lighter pink, sort of like a pastel pink. You can see it right here. It looks more on the dewy side on the swatch, but it's more, it's not like the Bliss shade, which is more neutral. Nude pink. This is like a pastel pink, but it still has pink in it, and you will see it when I lower the lighting. It's more vibrant in a way than Bliss, but it's also super wearable, and these I've worn a lot. Easy to apply and dewy for sure. These blushes are viral for a reason. They're just perfection. And then on the other cheek, I'm applying Truth, which is a deeper shade. So when you're gonna use a deeper shade of these Rare Beauty blushes, you have to be extra careful, even more so if you're super light like myself. These would work beautifully for a deeper skin tone, and it would be easier because it will blend into the skin seamlessly. But these one, for me, it's easy. For Truth, I have to be more careful. So I'm evening it out on my blush brush. And then again, this is dewy for sure. And this is sort of like a berry shade. And I know this would look beautiful on my little sister. I've used this before, but I always tend to use Encourage instead of Truth. This is the perfect winter blush. You can see that this is pink, and then this one, it's plum or like a berry shade for sure. So I'm gonna blend them with the sponge. This is Adore. And then this one is Truth. Now with my lights lower, you can see them. This is Truth. You can see the plum and the berry tone with it. I'm not that into these type of shades on my everyday usage, but I know that they look beautiful, and I know people love them to get like a flush winter look. And then this is Adore, and these I adore. Okay, you guys, now last but not least, I will go in for Encourage, which is a beautiful mauvey tone shade. And this is for sure a dewy formula. Encourage, it's described as a soft neutral pink, and it's dewy. Yeah, this one, even though it looks intimidating in the bottle, I adore. I feel like this is one of those shades that, again, you can wear on an everyday basis. I want more shades from these Rare Beauty blushes, but I think the ones that I have are ones that I know I can get a ton of use out of. So I'm gonna apply it in one cheek on camera and then in the other cheek by myself. Okay, so this is the shade Encourage. I love this because this is again a neutral shade. It's a nude with a hint of mauve. It's different from the other ones that I showed you. This makes me think that if this Rare Beauty in Truth, the mini one, came in a full size and it was available all year round, this wouldn't be a shade that I would feel myself that I wanted to purchase. I prefer something that's more neutral and everyday, and that reflects on the colors that I've shown you before this one. You can see that I always want products that I can use on an everyday basis. The one that it's bolder, it's happy, but happy also goes with my complexion and with a lot of the looks that I do. But most of the ones that are my top most used blushes from Rare Beauty are Bliss, Worth, Adore, Virtue, and Encourage. And those are more neutral blushes that you can pair with any eye look. Then the bolder ones that I have are Happy, which was my first love, and then Truth. And I still love them. I will still use them, but the only one that I wouldn't have purchased because of the shade, it's Truth. I will use it, but I wouldn't have purchased the full size, if that makes any sense. Let me lower the lighting so that you guys can see Encourage with lower lighting. Okay, now I will put right here the little video of the swatches that I did on my arm, and my ranking of the blushes will come right now. Okay, you guys, so for my ranking, my top favorite one is the shade Worth, which is one of the limited edition ones that they have available, so you can go and purchase it. I will leave everything linked below. Then Encourage is a wonderful shade. I know that it looks intimidating when you see it right here. It looks super dark, but it's the one that I'm wearing and you don't see it being too dark. I'm actually gonna build it up so you guys can see it build up on my cheeks, because this one I didn't build up, and they build up beautifully, you guys. I think the dewy ones even easier than the matte ones. But this is really a stunning shade. Okay, so that's more the way that I use it. For my ranking then, Encourage is number 2. Now the third place goes for Virtue, and this is the other limited edition. And this has a little bit more warmth to it, like a hint of orange to it. It's a beige shade. Then I love Adore. Adore, it's a beautiful pink, but it's a true pink, pastel pink on your cheeks. I love the pigmentation of it, and I love the way it finishes my makeup and makes me look younger. Then Bliss is the one that I just got, and I think it compares to Adore. It's a similar vibe, but this is a matte formula. This is the only matte that I have, and this was a recommendation from my friend Janet, so I purchased it with Sephora points. And the only thing about this one is that it's harder to blend than the Dewy formula, but the finish of it and the color of it I know will go for every day, and that I can use on an everyday basis without looking too blushy. Then the one that started it all was Happy, and Happy I have two. I have a mini and I have a big one, and I love these. These truly, I couldn't, this is like choosing between my children. I adore Happy, but this is a more challenging one to work with because it's more pigmented, and also the color shows up more. It's not like a neutral shade that you can use with anything. This one you have to choose the look that you're gonna do when using this, or using it in a sheer way, or a little layer, like a sheer layer of it. But this shows up. I've seen people looking crazy using Happy. And then Truth, like I said on my review when I was doing the face swatches, Truth, if it came alone in a full size, I wouldn't purchase the full size. It's a plum shade, it's like a berry shade, but I know that I will enjoy it while I have it, and I know I will probably finish it. I still want to get more, so on my wish list I have Joy, I have Believe, and I have Grateful. So the one that it's a red one, I want those. I want to try them because these Rare Beauty blushes I can wear, I can use on my makeup artistry kits, I can use on myself. I just find them to be super easy, and when you're doing the layering technique as a makeup artist, these work wonderful to apply a blush on top and to make a bride have her makeup last all day during a wedding and during kissing every single guest on her party. So that's it for my Rare Beauty blush review, guys, and swatches. I hope you enjoyed. I post luxury videos every week, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I always leave a question in the comment section below so that we can chat about makeup. Let me know what you want to see next on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.